Bibliophiles of the internet. My name is Adriana and today I want to discuss captioning videos. Now, you may or may not have noticed, but in January of 2015, I resolved to caption every single one of my videos. So every video that I uploaded in 2015 is fully captioned, and now every single video that I produce is captioned before it even goes live, and that is progress that I'm very happy about. What's more, if I link back to an older video, I try and make sure that video is captioned as well, because that's just fair. And in case you didn't know that before, now I've started to include a little CC mark at the beginning of every video description for every new video that I make. So like I said, you can depend on all of my new videos to be captioned. But let's back up. Let's go back to where this started. So the reason I started captioning all of my new content in the beginning of 2015 was because I saw this video by Tyler Oakley in which he talked about why he captions his videos. I enjoy Tyler's videos, and even though I will say that wasn't the best or most comprehensive discussion about captioning videos, it was still very, very important because essentially here was this huge YouTube star stepping up and taking responsibility and saying openly to the world, I made all of these videos and now it's my responsibility to make sure that as many people as possible can comfortably enjoy them whenever they want. And that was a very, very big deal, simply because of how much influence he has, and knowing that he has such a huge and incredible platform. That really woke up a lot of people and started getting a lot of content creators to start thinking about how they make their videos, how they present their videos, and their responsibilities as video makers. At least I know that's what it did for me. But even after I saw that video and resolved to caption all of my new content, I was still very disappointed with myself because I didn't understand why I wasn't aware about this before, why I wasn't thinking about this before, and why I hadn't started captioning my videos from the very first video that I ever made. Especially because not only am I constantly trying to be aware of the needs of those around me, but before I even started my YouTube channel, I took 2 years of American Sign Language, and my professor was actually deaf. So from the very first day in class, there was no speaking, there was no writing. We were signing every single day, and we did a ton of events and work within our local deaf community, and we also worked very closely with deaf and hard of hearing tutors. So it was a very immersive experience. It was a very big culture shock as well, but it also gave me a new perspective. And if there was one thing that I took away from those classes, besides obviously learning how to conversationally sign, it's just to be aware of those around you, to be conscious that there are so many different types of people leading different types of lifestyles that are all beautiful, complex, valid, and wonderful, and to just be conscious of those different lifestyles and not to pity those who lead different lifestyles than yours, not to pander to them, not to condescend to them, not to try and force them to come onto our English speaking level, but just to be conscious of the needs of those around you, and to know that if there is a way that you can make people more comfortable or make something more accessible to someone, then it's your responsibility to do it. Not because it's quote unquote the right thing to do, not because you're trying to earn cookie points or exert your superiority or privilege, but just because it's fair, it's polite, and it's proper etiquette. So the reason I was so disappointed with myself for not captioning all of my videos from the get-go is because I so easily forgot the takeaway from that class and the impact that class had on my life. So after seeing Tyler's video and being conscious all over again about the needs of those around me and realizing my responsibility as a content creator, I swore to myself, never again. I will never forget again. And that's only one reason why captioning all of my new videos is very, very important to me. But another one of my core values as a content creator is that I want this channel to be an open and welcoming space. I don't want to bar entry or enjoyment to anyone who may stumble across any of my videos. I want as many people to enjoy my videos as possible. I want all of my viewers to be as comfortable and content as possible. That's why I caption my videos. I don't want to essentially cut off my videos from entire communities of people, because make no mistake, there are many more communities besides the deaf community that depend on captions to enjoy videos. And I definitely don't want to privilege one kind of viewer over another kind of viewer. It's like I said, the most important values I have for this channel, and by extension for the community that I've created around this channel, is that it's an open, accepting, accessible, enjoyable, comfortable space, because I didn't have that kind of space growing up. A lot of people didn't have that space growing up, and I just want as many people as possible to enjoy my videos and to be comfortable enjoying my videos. That is what is important to me, and that's why I caption my videos. And you would not believe the amount of positive reception I've gotten since I started captioning all of my new videos. I've gotten so many incredible and kind messages on Tumblr, Twitter, Goodreads, on YouTube, in the comments of my videos, where people are just so genuinely grateful to have found a booktuber who actually captions their videos. And I know I'm not the only one, but for some people, I am the only one. Again, nice messages are not an incentive to start captioning your videos. This is not a play to my ego, but it's very, very important to me, because in those messages, people are so heartfelt and they really open up about why they depend on captions and why they really appreciate that I caption all of my new videos. And that's very important to me, because that just further reinforces why it's important for all of us to caption our videos. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me awake and conscious of the needs of those around me. And that's why I keep captioning my videos, and I will always caption all of my new videos from here until forever. Like I said, there are so many different kinds of people who depend on captions to enjoy videos. Like I said, there are the people who belong to the deaf community, there are hard of hearing people, there are people with certain kinds of disabilities, whether they are physical, mental, or learning related, who depend on captions, but there's also non-English speakers who rely on captions. There are people whose first language is not English, or who don't have a firm grasp on the English language, who really depend on my captions not only to enjoy my videos, but to even know what the heck I'm talking about. So not only is captioning your videos an easy act of kindness that helps you be conscious of the needs of those around you, but even more than that, it's an act of agency, because I unpublish the nonsensical gibberish that is the YouTube auto-generated captions, because I need to take back what is mine. The captions of my video are the script to my video. Those are my words, my ideas, the message I'm trying to get across, and I want it to be as clear and as accessible as possible. I invite you to watch any uncaptioned video and just rely on the auto-generated captions, because I guarantee you, you won't be able to take the content creator seriously, and you won't be able to make heads or tails of that video. Because most of the time, the crap it comes up with is just nonsensical gibberish, and that's not fair to people who depend on captions to enjoy videos, especially if you're not providing your own captions. It's just not fair, because how are they supposed to know what you're talking about? So captioning your videos is also an act of agency. Take control of your videos, your content, your channel. Provide your script and your words as they were intended to be experienced. It just makes sense. That's really why I'm bringing this discussion specifically to BookTube, because even though I have seen a few more BookTubers captioning their videos more regularly, it's nowhere near enough. We need to do better. We always need to do better. So this is a call to action. I'm asking all of you booktubers out there to do better and to start captioning all of your new videos. And I'm gonna be upfront about it. It is kind of a time-consuming process. If you're making anywhere from a 5 to 7 minute video, it can take about an extra hour in the editing process to get your captions up and running. At least that's how long it takes for me, because like I said, I unpublish the auto-generated captions and then I transcribe my own videos. I like to set the time markers to specific spots because I like my captions to actually be in sync with my clips, and also because the auto-generated captions are not capitalized, they're not properly punctuated. Again, it's mostly just gibberish. So I like to make my captions as clean and as readable as possible. So yes, I'm gonna be real with you. It does add on maybe an hour or so to the editing process. But again, I think this is an important and necessary step for us as booktubers to take. And I think we just need to integrate captioning into the editing process or the post-production process. That's the mentality we need to have. Being able to schedule my uploads and get them ready ahead of time is literally the only reason why I am a YouTube partner. That is very important to me because I have made captioning part of the editing process for myself, and I make sure that all of my videos are captioned and ready to go before they ever go live, because that is just fair. I want people to be able to enjoy my videos from the second they are published. Honestly, if you have time to set up your tripod, focus and frame your camera, set up your lighting, or make sure you have enough sunlight, make yourself presentable, throw on a half-decent shirt, if you have time to film videos and take 10,000 thumbnail options, if you have time to import those files to your computer, edit them, trim every clip, add in special effects, sound effects, music, pictures, if you have time to render that video and upload it onto the internet, if you have time to be tweeting about it and promoting it with all the right hashtags, then my friend, you have enough time to caption your videos. If you make videos on the internet, you have enough time to caption your videos, and you have a responsibility to caption those videos. That is the bottom line. I know some of you may be feeling resistant to what I'm telling you, or some of you may be inwardly groaning and thinking to yourself, yeah, that's nice and all, but I upload 5 days a week, or I upload 20-minute videos all the time. And you know what? I know the struggle. I know how daunting that can feel. I'm prone to making long videos myself. I'm making one as we speak. But you know what? If that's the content I feel passionate about, if that's the content I am set on putting out into the world and putting on my channel, then that's a choice that I've made. And it's also my responsibility to caption that content. So again, putting this all in perspective, this is a call to action to all of my fellow booktubers. Please consider captioning all of your new videos and taking that extra necessary step and integrating captioning into your editing process, because it is much needed and it will be much appreciated by those who depend on captions to enjoy videos. And just know that if you decide to not caption your videos, or if you decide to do nothing and just go on the same way you always have, letting YouTube auto-generate your captions, then you're part of the problem, and you're also actively deciding to restrict access to tons of different communities who will not enjoy or even understand your content. That's not the way to grow, that's not the way to be inclusive, and that's definitely not cool. If you are a booktuber who already captions their videos, thank you, and I hope you will consider sharing this one as well. Tweet about it, continue the conversation in your own way, make a response video about why you caption your videos and why it's important to you, because we definitely need to spread more awareness and pull our influence a little bit, because there's still a lot of work for our community to do in order to become a more welcoming and accessible place. That feeling when your computer decides to corrupt the clip that has your outro in it? Thanks for nothing, universe. But anyways, I would love to hear from you in the comments if you have any ideas for how I can make my videos more enjoyable and more accessible for you. So I hope all this made sense. I can only hope that this video helped at least one person realize that they should start captioning their videos, but I look forward to hearing what all of you have to say in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the flip side of the page. Bye.